tingling. I got chills. I got chills. I'm excited.
Are they multiplying?
My chills?
Yeah.
Yes. But I am not going to lose control. In fact, I'm just going to pass control
Thank
over to
God.
you.
Excellent. All right. So in the top left-hand corner from SCA, we have the Zerg player Andromeda. And why don't you give us an introduction to who his opponent is?
His opponent is Keatz. He's going to be, this guy's a platinum on this account. Watching some of his play, he's either getting ready to jump into Diamond or recently got demoted. He's been doing really good thus far, sending a probe across the map. He's got some things we've noticed off of his play as a Protoss. He's got weird placements of his buildings, like we're about to see here in a moment. And the playstyle, a little versatile too. I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of not the boilerplate norm that you see out of Protoss. He favors a lot of diverse tech, and I think it worked perfectly for him in the first game. We saw a great Blink Stalker drop with a Warp Prism and just completely caught Andromeda off guard. But Andromeda, not having any of that in the second game, just came out, scouted well, and built a lot of units. And a lot of times when you have a lot of units and the other person has a lot of techie cute units, the person with the more units wins, as long as nothing goes wrong. So Andromeda adjusted nicely. The series is tied 1-1. So this is to decide who moves on.
And this, guys, just so for those of you that don't know, we are bringing you some action from the losers bracket of Infinity Gaming's 25th weekly Sunday Mass. We did a double elimination this month just to see, or this season, just for shits and giggles. We were able to do so thanks to a member who made a donation and asked that we make another double elimination Sunday Mass. And so, bam, here it is. If you guys are interested in helping us out, making some bigger, better tournaments, as well as offsetting some of the other costs, please swing by to the main stream. I haven't set it up on this one yet, but if you go to the main stream where they're bringing you the winners bracket, you can make a donation there. We do see Probe moving up to the front here, probably going to get ready to start on the wall. Forge is going to finish here in just a minute. Proxy Pylon being really annoying, Andromeda not being able to throw down that hash, so opts for the third instead.
Yeah, taking the immediate third against the Forge Fast Expand is not really that dangerous, so it's just sort of changing the order at which he takes the bases and doesn't overreact, only builds 4 Zerglings. So he'll have this natural building in no time. There it goes. And everything's pretty much normal now for Andromeda. Just took out that pesky pylon. I'm not a big fan on maps like this of letting that pylon finish building. I think it's just a wasted 100 minerals for a Protoss. Especially when you can sort of assume that Andromeda is going to know how to handle it correctly, and it's not just going to force him into some sort of crazy tilt. So I think it's a waste of 100 minerals, but, you know, 100 minerals, not that big a deal in the long term.
Well, he knows where his opponent is now by process of elimination, sending 3 Lings over there. They are going to be greeted by a cannon, and one goes down, and the other 2 run past its corpse on the way out.
Yeah, its buddy's corpse just sort of shot about maybe 50 feet there.
Yeah.
Opting not to go for the run by, he could have gotten a full scout of the base, but honestly, I think he knows already that there's not that much to see in a Protoss's base at 5 minutes. This is right when they're starting to drop down all of their buildings, especially if they've taken a Nexus already, because Nexus are so expensive that you don't really have that much money for anything else besides that in probes.
The only thing that he would have been able to really pick up on is that he has been chrono boosting out workers, that he's on double gas, and he started an upgrade, but not, you know, how much information does that really give you at this early in the game? You're absolutely right.
This is a very early +1 that's coming here. This is pretty much, I would say, in this build, this +1 is being prioritized above all else. So my guess is he might be setting up for a +2 timing attack. He's been spending chrono boost on that rather than on workers here and there. So it's got to be some sort of 2-base all-in timing attack is my guess. And the question is, once Andromeda gets his bases saturated, is he going to be able to scout this? And is he going to be able to have the units he needs to defend against it?
He's got an Overlord making its way in. It's going to be a while before Oh no, he does have a stalker. That stalker will be able to
Yeah,
deny
he
the
does have a
scout.
stalker, yeah. That's a giant mistake if it makes it all the way to this forge. And there's the Twilight Council. I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing the same sort of Blink Stalker play that we saw in the first game that works so well for Keatz. Stargate going down as well. So if he starts pumping Phoenix out of this, that's he knows this Overlord. That's beautiful, beautiful timing for two Overlords going in at once. Andromeda sends in the Overlord from both sides. They can only pick off one at a time. He sees the Stargate. He sees the Forge. He pretty much, I think he saw that the Twilight Council was canceled. Oh, maybe not. He's rebuilding the Twilight Council. So I think Keatz is banking on the fact that he did not see the Twilight Council. So let's see if Andromeda's vision... No, Andromeda did not spot that there was a Twilight Council canceled there. So a little bit of trickery here. In spite of the wonderful scouting by Andromeda.
Robo facilities just now getting ready to go down. I think you're right. We're probably going to see that blink. We'll see here in just a second if he goes for it. Come on.
Yeah, we've got a Roachborn down and two Evos. So Andromeda's probably going to start upgrades. And right now, he just started Hydralisk Den, so he's going to have the choice of Roach or Hydra to fend this off. And he's got a pretty strong economy, so I'm betting he's not going to get caught off guard.
Ooh, Dark Lorax, you called it. +2 upgrades are on the way. Blink is on the way as well. Robo facility just getting ready to finish. We've already got a few Phoenixes on the map. This is going to be that same old push. I think it's going to be a little easier to defend, though.
Yeah, just given the map positioning, Blink Stalkers aren't... There's the high ground and the low ground here. I mean, you can jump a little bit from the third into the main, but I just don't see this working as well as it did in the first game.
Bunch of Lynx chilling towards the front, scouting that there's still no third. Gonna chill over there for a little bit. Yeah, the first map it was on Belshir, right?
No, it was Frost, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of high and low ground on Frost to abuse, but yeah, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways there, 7, 8, so 8 gateways, and the Stargate. This is definitely more than you can sustain on 2 bases, so it's got to be some sort of 2-base all-in with this, and Andromeda is already pushing across the map. He's saying, I don't want to wait for you to get to your timing, I'm just going to start pressuring you at your door and disrupt the whole timing of this.
Keatz Warp Prism, though, is in an awkward position, ready to start warping in. It's got good vision. Oh, and here comes some Hydralisk.
Can those Hydras see it, though? Hydras do not see it.
Our forces are under attack.
Stalker's moving across the field here. Good creep spread, so he'll be able to engage these pretty effectively all the way out here.
An aggressive blink does win him almost... Oh, wins him a loss of a Stalker and no Hydralisk. Oh, they're going to chase and get caught way out of position. Here we go, circling back, baiting the men off the creep.
Yeah, get back on the creep, Hydras. I mean, I don't... Andromeda is totally ready for this. He has to know exactly what he's up against from the first game. He seemed to make the adjustment, switching over to Hydras, just like he did in the second game. He's got Speedlings, he's got Hydras. I don't see Blink Stalkers being that much of a threat. May lead to the cancel of this fourth, but against the 2-base all-inning Protoss, if your fourth gets canceled, it's not the end of the world.
That blink, though, with this many Stalkers, every line acting as a meat shield for the ones blinking towards the back. This blink micro really good, losing only a few Stalkers so far. All the Lings are gone.
The problem with this is that you can't... Blink Stalkers are great against small numbers of units, but eventually once the injured Stalkers that you've blinked back start coming to the front, you're just not in as good a shape as you could be. And there's a lot of DPS from these Hydras.
Oh, the Lynx finally getting into this. Hydra's getting some kills.
That blink forward, I'm not a big fan of aggressively blinking unless you know you're going to get a kill. because you're wasting the blinks that you can have to save these stalkers that need to be going. So they are gonna destroy this fourth though. So there is some damage done here.
So many blink stalkers on the map now. I think it's wise.
Go ahead.
I think it's wise of Andromeda to sit back.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's got a lot of stuff in production. Keatz is floating quite a bit of minerals here. He's at 12,400 gas, so he's pretty much committed all to this. He's not much macro going along behind this. I'd like to see him with all these minerals take an expansion or something behind in case this attack fails, because now that the drones have been pulled, these stalkers are going to have to be forced back.
Oh, if you're Andromeda, you've got to be feeling pretty good about this defense.
Yeah, I mean, losing the fourth is not that big a deal. He's got 3 bases all pretty well saturated, and if you, let's check the army supplies. I bet he's ahead in army supply as well.
It is 57 for Andromeda versus 40 as far as army value.
Yep, he's ahead in workers and in army. That's just not a spot you want to be in against the Zerg player. Both players with a lot of money in the bank, though. Yeah, again with a blink forward. I'm not a big fan of that.
Chased him all the way back home. Zerg doing pretty good. A lot of Hydralisks chilling out here. They do have +1 armor. No upgrades to the range versus 2 to attack. Looks like the Warp Prism is going to go in for some harass. Shh! We won't tell anybody.
That's exactly what he needs to do. He is behind. He needs to find some way to get back ahead and a little Warp Prism harass. He's got 3 Zealots in there. His Stalkers can push this back, but for how long? I mean, as soon as he masses up this little Hydralisk parade, these Stalkers are going to be in trouble.
Some Links trying to find their way to the front.
Yeah, keep in mind, though, that these Stalkers they do have +2 attack, and right now, Andromeda's only has +1 armor for upgrades, so Keatz does have the upgrade advantage in this. Just not enough. Beautiful concave here from Andromeda. And GG. Great series there from our 2 players, Andromeda and Keatz.
Dude, that was you hit the nail on the head. That was a great series. I feel fortunate to have watched that.
Yeah, well played by both of them. Great adjustments by Andromeda in the second and third games there. The switch from going Roach Ling Heavy to Ling Hydra was just brilliant. Exact perfect response to that. He knew it was coming the third game. It was the same build as the first game. Despite Keatz's best effort to hide it, it just wasn't enough. Andromeda held it off beautifully.
Couldn't have said it better myself, so I won't even try. Guys, we're going to bring you another